I did what, the internet is telling you not to do. I cut bangs. I'm not sure about them, but my daughter talked me into it, and I thought I would share them with you. They were in my last video too, but I pinned them up, and I'm probably going to pin them up for this video as well. I thought I would show you my boredom hairdressing. I've also realized that bangs take a lot of work in the morning, and these are my morning bangs where I haven't washed my hair yet. So enjoy. Let me know if you cut your hair yourself or if it's just me. I'm all by myself. Today I'm going to run through 2 different styles of, see, they drive me crazy. Anyways, we're going to run through 2 different styles. So there'll be 2 videos today of sun salutation. So a little bit of a flow. One we're going to do on the mat, and then the other video I'll post will be with a chair. And if you've practiced with me before in real life, we've done this. We've done these practices. So I hope this video finds you all well. It is, I think, our 4th week in isolation. I have to say I'm missing seeing everybody's faces and going out, but staying safe and busy and grateful the sun is shining these days. Anyway, so grab a mat and we will get started. Again, this will be a 20-minute video and we'll run through it. Anyways, I hope this video finds you well, and I'll be back there. And I think, oh, my cat's on the couch. Maybe she'll join us a little bit. Offer some noises to be aware of. So I will see you on the mat, and I'm going to pin up my bangs. So just taking a moment to find a comfortable seat, starting laying down or sitting up, whichever makes you feel most supported. And beginning to connect your awareness just to the sounds of your space. Just becoming aware of any sound you notice. From the sounds, shifting your awareness to your feet. Just becoming aware of your feet making contact on the mat, the ground, however they're placed. And you can wiggle and move your feet to help draw your attention down to your feet. Noticing any sensations you notice, the bottoms of your feet, to the tops of your feet, into your toes. And from your feet, begin to draw your awareness up to your hands, however they're placed, if they're resting on the mat, on your body, if they're holding each other. Just becoming aware of how they are in space. Is there a sensation to notice from whatever your hands are making a contact with? Maybe there's a temperature difference to become aware of, or maybe there's not. We can notice that. Being aware of your fingers and your thumbs. From your hands, beginning to draw your awareness to your breath. Just noticing that you're breathing without needing to change anything about your natural breath. Is it possible to notice your inhales as you're inhaling and your exhales as you're exhaling? Just becoming aware. There's no wrong way to be here, no wrong way to breathe. Just notice how you're breathing in this moment. Maybe there's sensation to become aware of with the movement of air as you breathe. So we do this practice with as much curiosity as possible, just to notice, where do we feel sensation with our breath, if anywhere. Some days it can feel easier to notice, and some days it can feel a little harder. It's just doing your best. Maybe adding a little bit of length to your breath. You don't have to, but you can play a little bit. Taking a little bit deeper breath, a little longer exhale. Are there different sensations to become aware of? The same, do things change as you do that? Just noticing. On your next inhale, take a deep, full breath in. So big inhale in. And exhale, release that breath through your mouth. Doing your best to get all the breath out. We'll take 2 more breaths like that. When you're ready, big inhale in. Exhale, release that breath through your mouth. Last breath like that. Big inhale in. Exhale, release that breath through your mouth. And letting go of that control over your breath, allowing your body to breathe you. Breaths like that, adding our arms in. So if you're laying down, you can stay laying down. If you're sitting up, stay sitting up. With an inhale, reach through your fingertips, send your arms up, overhead. Find a stretch through your fingers, through your side body. Exhale, releasing that breath through your mouth, letting your arms come back down. 2 more times. Big inhale in. Exhale. Last one. And allowing your arms to rest, your hands to rest in any comfortable position. If your eyes are closed, maybe beginning to blink your eyes open. Moving and stretching in any way your body feels like moving and stretching. If you're laying down, maybe bending your knees, sending your knees from side to side. If you're sitting up, maybe a little twist one way, and twist the other. So adding a little bit of movement. So we're going to transition up to standing. Play with a little bit of sun salutation flow. So taking your time, coming on up. Wiggling out your legs. If you're doing this in the morning or in the evening, you may feel a little bit different in your body. And coming near the front of your mat. So I'm finding your feet. We're going to move through this One time slow, checking out all the poses, and then we'll do it together, breath to breath, just to notice how it feels. So always, 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 always being aware of your body and how you're feeling today, and knowing that you don't have to do anything, and taking those moments to rest, right? No matter where I am, you are. If you need to rest, go ahead and rest. So feet are about hip width distance apart. Find your feet, press into your feet. You find a little bit of softness in your toes, softness in your knees. I'm going to bring our palms together, the center of our chest. So nice and slow, we'll do a few half salutations to begin with. So with an inhale, send your fingertips, arms out wide, up, overhead, let your palms touch. Exhale, palms together, down the center line, bend your knees. We're going to come into a forward fold. Nice bent knees. Take a few breaths here, bending your knees as much or as little as feels right for your body in this moment. Right? Noticing the sensations in your legs, into your back. On your next inhale, we're going to inhale halfway up. So hands come to your shins, your knees, your thighs, straighten your legs, lift your chest away from your legs. Nice long spine. And on your next exhale, we come back down to a forward fold, knees bend. Pressing into your feet as you inhale, sweep your arms forward, coming all the way up. Palms reach overhead. Exhale, hands back down to your chest. Do that one more time. Inhaling, arms sweep out and up. Exhale to come into that forward fold, so we follow our hands down the center line. Knees bend. On your next inhale, halfway up. Hands come to your shins, your knees, your thighs. Exhale, bend your knees, come back down into that forward fold. Pressing into your feet. So you inhale, sweep your arms forward. Follow your fingertips all the way back up to standing. Palms touch overhead. Exhale. Hands come to the center of your chest. Yay! So again, always shifting. You can find a little shift in movement in your legs and your feet. Inhaling, sweep your arms up overhead. Let your palms touch. Maybe look up. Exhale, palms come down the midline as we come into a forward fold. Knees are bent. Inhale, we come halfway up. So finding that length in our spine, legs lengthen, spine lengthens, moves away from, our chest moves away from our legs. Then on your next exhale, keeping this length in your back, we're going to begin to bend our knees till our fingertips come to the mat. As your fingertips come to the mat, we're going to step one foot back, and then the other. Knees come down to the mat. So pressing from your palms into palm press into the ground. We lift up away from the mat. We're pulling your belly button up towards your spine. A modified plank pose. We're going to begin to lower ourselves down. So shifting forward slightly, bending your elbows, coming all the way down to the mat on your belly. Letting your legs straighten. Press the tops of your feet into the mat. Come into a baby cobra pose. So as you press the tops of your feet into the mat, your pelvic bone presses into the mat. Almost like you're reaching your tailbone back towards your heels. Elbows point back. As best you can, keep length in your neck. So you might want look up and see me, but then come back to a spot where you're looking down towards the ground. A long neck. On an inhale, lift your chest up slightly. Press your legs, feet, tops of feet, press into the mat. Exhale to come back down. One more time. Inhale, chest and head lift up off the mat. Exhale, back down. Curl your back toes under. Press into your hands. We're going to transition into tabletop. Coming onto hands and knees. Take a moment, maybe sending your hips back. A little child's pose here. Finding a stretch in your side body and your arms. Now this child's pose, we notice my toes are curled under, a little bit more active. So from here, we're going to come into downward facing dog. Right? And anytime we come into downward facing dog, this pose here, this more active child's pose is your other option. Right? For those of you who know me know that I have glaucoma, so downward facing dog is in my practice, but I do not hold it for more than 2 breaths. So here is where I will be sometimes instead of holding a downward facing dog. Right, so we do what's best for our bodies. So coming back up onto hands and knees, we find that downward facing dog we'll play with for a moment. So pressing into your palms. Your palms are a little bit more forward. Back toes curl under. Reach through your heels, a little active in your feet. Then pressing into your palms, we're going to lift our hips and my words stopped. We'll lift our hips, tailbone up towards the ceiling, reaching our heels down towards the mat. Don't worry if they don't connect with the mat. Our head comes between our arms, pressing firmly into your hands, especially your finger mounds. So we lift our hips up and back. And you can play with bending your knees here. Right, coming back down to child's pose or holding downward facing dog. Your choice. Taking a few breaths. And wherever you are, we're going to look forward towards our fingertips. Knees bent. We're going to walk our feet up towards our hands. Inhaling to come into that halfway lift. Hands come to your shins, your thighs, your knees. Lift your chest away from your legs. Exhale, forward fold. Let your head drop. Soft knees, pressing into your feet. Inhale, send your fingertips forward, coming all the way up to standing. Palms touch overhead. Exhale. Hands back down. Take a few breaths. And inhaling, sweeping your arms up overhead. Maybe look up as your palms touch, maybe not. Exhale, coming into that forward fold. Knees are soft. Inhale, halfway up. Then as you exhale, begin to bend your knees, fingertips come down to the mat. As you bring your fingertips down to the mat, we'll step one leg back and the other leg back. Plank pose. Options. So you can have your knees off the mat, or you can bring your knees back down to the mat. Right? Always knowing both are available. If your knees are up off the mat, play with reaching your heels back. At the same time, reaching your tailbone back behind you. Like your tailbone is reaching down towards your heels. So noticing the muscles engage in your legs. Pressing your hands into the mat out of your shoulders. Plank pose. Anytime, bring your knees down. And from here, we're going to move down into that baby cobra. So you can bring your knees down, or you can move from plank. It's upper plank. So we shift forward on our toes. Begin to bend your elbows, lowering your chest all the way down to the ground. Tops of your feet press into the mat. Elbows point back. On an inhale, lift your chest, head up off the mat. Exhale, lower back down. One more time. Inhale up. Exhale down. Pressing through your hands, curl your back toes and we come up to tabletop. So from here is child's pose, or send your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Taking a few breaths. And looking forward towards your fingertips, bending your knees. We're going to walk our feet up towards our hands. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Pressing into your feet, knees are bent. Inhale, send your arms all the way up, palms touch. Exhale, hands to your heart. I'm pausing, taking a moment here. You can keep your hands in prayer pose. You can bring one hand to your heart center, one hand to your stomach, or let your arms rest. And just take a moment to notice. Notice how your breath is moving. Maybe there's a temperature in your body to be aware of. Become aware of that. We're going to run through that one more time before we come for a little rest. So connecting your feet to the mat. Palms come together at the center of your chest. Press into your feet. Reach the crown of your head up towards the ceiling. Inhale, send your arms wide. Stretch through your fingertips. Let your palms touch overhead. Maybe look up. Exhale, palms come down the center line, knees bend, come into that forward fold. Inhaling, halfway lift. Arms come to your shins, your thighs. Lift your chest away from your legs. On your next exhale, bend your knees toward the point where you can bring your fingertips to the mat. We'll step one foot back, coming into plank pose, and then the other. Pressing into your hands. So especially the mounds, the finger mounds of your fingers, they connect with your palms. Lifting your belly button towards your spine, reaching your heels back. So legs are engaged. Breathing. Plank pose. Remember, knees down, one knee's down, two knees down. If you like. So knees down or legs up. We're going to transition to baby cobra. Shifting forward on your toes. Begin to bend your elbows, lowering your chest to the mat. Whole body comes to the mat. Press the tops of your feet into the ground at the same time. Press your pubic bone into the ground. Elbows reach back. On an inhale, inhale, head and chest lift. Exhale, lower down. Pressing your legs into the mat one more time. Inhale up, exhale down. Curling your back toes under, press into your hands. We come up to tabletop, either child's pose or all the way up to downward facing dog. Lift your tailbone, your hips up towards the ceiling. Legs can be straight, knees can be soft here. Press to your hands. You're pressing your hands forward. Head comes between your upper arms. Looking forward towards your fingers, knees bend. Walk your feet towards your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Press into your feet. Forward slightly. Inhale, arms sweep out to the side, up overhead, palms touch. Exhale. Hands back down your chest. Inhaling to sweep your arms up. Exhale to come into that forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, begin to bend your knees, fingertips come to the mat. Step one leg back, bring your knee down. Opposite leg back, knee down. Come into child's pose. So sending your hips towards your heels, your forehead towards the ground. You can have your legs together here, or if it feels better in your body, you can spread your knees wide. And rest. Just noticing your breath here as you rest in child's pose. Softening in your arms and your shoulders. Just being aware of any sensations in your body. Allowing the ground to support you. If you're in child's pose and this is a comfortable way to spend the next moment, you stay here. If you'd like to transition out of child's pose, walk your hands towards your knees, come all the way to seated or laying on your back. With every exhale, is it possible to let your body rest a little bit more? But maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Just becoming aware of your breath. Your inhales and your exhales. On your next inhale, take a big inhale in. Pause for a moment at the top of your inhale. And then exhale, nice and slowly. One more breath like that. Big inhale in. Pausing at the top of your inhale. And nice slow exhale out. Bringing your palms together in the center of your chest. And taking this moment to thank yourself. Thank yourself for your strength. Not the strength that it takes our arms to hold us up in a plank or a downward facing dog, but the strength that we all have as humans. And the strength we have in this moment as we deal with everything that's going on in the world. Just to be. And to give ourselves space and time. I hope this practice finds you well. Big inhale in. Exhale. Until next time, my friends.